What's going on, everybody? We are here to review the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 6, titled The Little Prince. Facing impossible odds, Alicia and the group work together to fix their plane while Morgan helps Grace prevent a disaster. Meanwhile, Strand, Charlie, and Sarah come up with a solution to help their friends. We're here to talk about all of that. Do not click away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's going on, Fear
What's
fans?
up?
We are back. We went from a full panel to just the boys
two.
tonight.
I'm cool with that, though.
I'm cool with that. I'm down for a gentleman's show tonight. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like I said, we are here to review the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which I enjoyed very much. I'm going to get Benny Adams over here's thoughts in just a second. But first, like I said, Krista and April are out tonight, but they will be back next week. Fear not, everybody. They are out killing some walkers as we speak. But Benny, how are you?
I'm good, man. Refreshed from the weekend, ready to talk some Fear the Walking Dead.
Same, agreed.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. It is Monday. It's a beautiful Monday where we talk The Walking Dead. Tonight, you guys, we're talking the John and Dwight storyline. We're talking Morgan and Grace. Grace is back, our radiation zombie killer. Mm-hmm. We've got Alicia and Annie. Their storyline comes to a head as well. And Strand, Charlie, and Sarah, who we've missed. Sarah, I mean, we've seen Charlie and Strand around,
right.
But Sarah I've really missed. So we're talking all of that tonight, guys. We also have our special segments, our favorite kill segment, which we know you all love, plus our How Not to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse, plus some news and gossip and predictions. We've got a lot to talk about, Benny.
I can't wait.
Let's get into it.
It's good. It's juicy.
It is. It is very juicy. First off, I want to hear your overall thoughts of the episode.
All right, so my overall thoughts of this episode, it was a good episode. Mm-hmm. Was it amazing like the past couple of episodes? Mm-hmm. No, not for me, but every single episode doesn't have to be amazing. And what I did like about this episode was that there was a common theme, and to me that common theme was hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about this episode. Was it like, oh my gosh, amazing, like I'm on the edge of my seat? Mm-hmm. No, but it was a good episode and I liked it.
I think coming off of the heels of the last episode, and the fan reaction to the last episode has been overwhelmingly positive, mm-hmm. which is great because it just shows how connected we are to Al as a character. But I think coming off the heels of that, like I said, it's hard to maintain that kind of momentum. We obviously as fans can't realistically expect there to be level 10 stakes at all times. In every single episode.
Exactly.
That being said, this episode was very, I don't want to say disconjointed because it wasn't, but all of our people are reunited again, and every time everybody's reunited, everybody has little pockets of camera time.
So many storylines.
Exactly. So there's so many storylines that we have to cover. So it gets a little muddy, I want to say. But that being said, every episode is a step in the right direction for me. I think that we accomplish different things throughout the episode, and there was one key thing tonight that I do want to talk about, which we'll get into. But first, I want to talk about the John and Dwight storyline.
Yeah.
So Morgan walkies Annie, very quickly, telling her that they found a plane, which was news to me because I'm like, where did they find this plane?
Right.
Because that wasn't hinted on.
It wasn't.
At all in the last couple of episodes. And it kind of confused me because I originally thought that Strand had given them their plane. Like, they got their plane for some reason and, like, covered it in lead. Because, you know, with radiation, you cover a vehicle in lead and that's how you can get through it.
Right. Depending
on the radiation level. I just watched Chernobyl on HBO, everybody. So this is how I know all of this.
I need to.
It's really good. So I thought that's what that plane was, because it was like this giant gray thing, and I was like, oh, cool, so they just covered the plane in lead. No, they found a whole nother plane.
Yeah. I was confused.
Okay,
I was
good.
like, these are some lucky people.
Right? I was like, where did they get this huge plane from?
Because at first I thought it was from Strand, but I was like, wait, I don't think that's right. So I was all confused right there, but I just went with it.
So did I. I was like, okay, they found a plane. Great. Let's fix the plane and get over it. Then we've got Morgan's monologue speech, and then we'll jump into topics. But his speech is basically, just something to fight for. We fight for each other. Here's my question to you. Do you feel like Alicia's character is taking a back seat lately? And do you think it was her that should have been giving the speech instead of Morgan? Because I feel like it's unfair to have somebody cross over from The Walking Dead. I'm like, Morgan, you've had your time. You've had your moments in The Walking Dead. You're a guest on this show. So to come in and take the lead and stuff like that, it just bothers me. I don't know why, it just does.
Okay, as I was agreeing with you until you said he's a guest on this show. I don't think he's a guest on this show. You know, I think he's earned his right. You know, he was meant to come on Fear for the reason. I feel like he's the glue that gets everyone together. So I feel like that speech was right for him. As for Alicia, I do agree with you. I do think she has taken a step back, but at the same time, I don't know. It just seems like in the past episodes, she seemed like this very dark character.
Yeah.
And she was trying to like find her way. And now it seems that she's a lot happier, but at the same time, we're not getting what we were getting from her before.
We're honestly not getting much of anything from her. I mean, we get these pockets of things from Alicia, but most of the time, I don't even know what she's thinking.
Right. It's like one day she's in a very dark, scary place, and then the next she's in a very bright, hopeful place. You know, when she wanted to like tell the kids about the balloon and talk to the kids about her mom. So it's very, we don't know what Alicia we're gonna get. Yeah,
I agree with you. Let's get into the John and Dwight storyline, like I said before. So they're headed back out to search for Sherry, Dwight's wife, and when John and June were saying goodbye to each other, it just brings me back to what I believe April keeps saying, is that every time something, like, we obviously all feel the same way, that they're not gonna be together for very long.
Really?
I mean, do you feel that way? Do you feel like John and June are gonna stick this out?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they are.
So you don't think one of them is gonna die?
No.
Okay.
I think they're gonna be that couple because you know in The Walking Dead they had a couple.
Yeah.
So I think this is the couple for Fear the Walking Dead. Eventually I think one of them will bite the dust, but I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon.
It just makes me nervous when they're separated.
Yeah.
It just does.
Now I do think we're so getting into predictions, but I do think that, you know, there will be challenges for them where they will be separated for a while, but I think they'll both be alive.
Yeah. So John and Dwight are getting to know each other. John asks him how him and Sherry got split up, and I just wrote down, wow, this is bringing up a whole nother conversation. And I want to know your opinion. Did you think or hope for a second that Dwight was going to give him a little bit more than he did? Did you hope that he was going to bring up the whole Negan situation and how Negan was like this dictator and how he had to fight through it and all this stuff?
No, and I knew it was going to stay just like that. I think Fear the Walking Dead wants to be its own show. Fair. But at the same time, please fans who watch The Walking Dead by talking about things that happened in The Walking Dead. But I completely agree with that direction, with, you know, not naming any names from the other show. Yeah. Because you want the show to stand on its own.
I agree with you. That's actually a very fair point. So they're pretty much bonding over love. And, you know, they say love is always complicated, and we all love John. I mean, he's just a Southern gentleman. We've fell in love with him since we met him at the cabin, and he still carries around the scrabble letters that June first spelled out, you know, I love you on, and that just makes me love him even more. And the thing that he says after that is, he says, all of this gave me more than I ever had. All of this, meaning like the zombie apocalypse, has given him more than he's ever had. Just that statement alone was so powerful to me, because I'm like, it took the zombie apocalypse to show you what love really is. Right. And what I love about the Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead in general. Oh, I know. Thank you, Jonathan. And bringing back
Ryan.
It's Ryan. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh my God. I don't know why I called you Jonathan. Guys, I don't know anybody's name tonight. I'm going to go back to what you said, Benny, about just the hope of the episode. Was that just finding love in the zombie apocalypse is just so hopeful. And how did you feel about it?
Sometimes, like you said, I really thought that comment was very powerful. And what I got from it is sometimes you just have to take something. Sometimes everything has to be taken away from you in order to realize what you've had or what you lost. Yeah. And then you find that, and then you cherish it. And that's what happened with him. Yeah. So yeah, I really like this couple, and I really I'm hoping for the best for them.
Yeah. So Dwight does allude to somebody in The Walking Dead. He says the person who sent him away told him to find Sherry and make it right after everything that he went through with her.
Yeah.
And how she gave up everything for him. And they're in this diner, they see this dead body, and John sees a note. And the whole thing with John and Dwight is Dwight just wants some of John's luck.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, like I said, John found love in the zombie apocalypse. Him and June have found each other time and time again, whereas Dwight has been looking for his wife for months, if not over a year now.
Right.
And John sees a note on a ticket in the restaurant, and they find out that they've been looking in the wrong place this entire time, which I was like, oh, good, hopeful. I was like, oh, I really want to know if we're going to find Sherry in this episode, because to be fair, this season is moving very fast.
It is.
So I'm not surprised if they're just going to drop Sherry on us in
I kind of thought we were going to see her also.
Oh, good. I'm glad I wasn't the only one, because I was like, Sherry's going to make an appearance, you guys. That was not the case. They do find out where she was, though, and we find this note. Well, John finds a note in the vehicle while Dwight scopes out the house.
Yeah.
And it's basically a note from Sherry saying that she was the one who killed the guy at the diner, and she feels obviously very regretful about it, even though he tried to kill her.
Right.
And she tells Dwight to stop looking for her because she fears that he's going to die in his quest to find her.
Right.
Did you think at that moment, before we knew for certain that John wasn't going to show him the note, after reading it, did you think that John was going to show Dwight the note?
I knew that he wasn't going to show him the note, but I wanted him to show him the note.
That was going to be my next question. Why?
Yeah. He deserves, and I'm still torn about it, but I'm going to say right now that he deserves to know.
Yes.
You know, and even though he's reading that she doesn't want him to find him, he can still go and find her, you know. He doesn't have to listen to that note.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he deserved to know.
I agree with you. I think that he has a right to know, especially, like I said, he's been searching for her for over a year. And it's not John's decision to not show him this note.
Right.
Like you said, show him the note. If he wants to continue looking, then, you know, let him continue to look. Help him continue to search.
Exactly.
They've gone this far with little clues far and few between. So it's like, if you want to keep looking, they've found each other facing more odds than Dwight is facing.
Right.
You clearly know that you're in the right area. It's not going to be very long until you run into something. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think that John should have kept this note from him. I think it's unfair.
Right. And like I said, this episode to me was all about hope. And I think what John was trying to do was just to let him hold on to that hope, because he didn't want to see he didn't want to take the chances to see what would happen to him if he did show him that letter.
Yeah. So I agree. I mean, it's hard. We want to know your thoughts, you guys. Do you think that John should have showed him the letter? Do you think that he shouldn't have showed him the letter? Tell us your thoughts. Before we move on to our second topic, I'm going to shoot it over to Benny really quickly for a word to our viewers.
Yes. So we here at AfterBuzz want to thank you guys for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And in order for us to grow even bigger, we need your help. So if you are on YouTube right now, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you are on iTunes, go ahead and give us a 5-star. Working at AfterBuzz means so much to us, and we just want to continue to give you guys amazing content, and we just love talking to you guys about The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead. I get them mixed up too. Clearly, I don't even know our engineer's name tonight. But we do this show for you guys. We love you guys. We love interacting with you all. And we are so grateful that you watch our show and continue to communicate with us about it, because, you know, this is why we do it. We love interacting with you guys. So let's move on to our second topic. I want to talk about Morgan and Grace. Did you think that we were going to see Grace again so soon?
No.
Okay.
I was surprised with that. I'm glad we saw her, because I thought like the next time we were going to see her, she was going to be dead somewhere. But I'm glad we saw her. Her storyline was a little to me, but
Yeah.
It was cool.
See, I disagree with you on that front. I think that Grace's storyline is one of, and I don't know if it's once again because I'm coming off of the coattails of Chernobyl on HBO, and I don't know if I'm so fascinated with this whole radiation thing,
Right.
but it's something that they've never done before, which is what fascinates me about her storyline, and I want to know more. Plus, she's pretty much dying, and she's like on this dying quest to like find all of these diosemitters. I can know that name, guys, but once again, don't know the engineers.
But that's the thing, though. Is she really dying? Because she seems perfectly healthy from like the last time we saw her.
But I think that's how radiation works, though, is that if you don't
just
get like a
slowly eats at you?
huge dose of it, I think it just slowly goes. Like she knows that she's going to die at some point.
Okay.
So she just, I guess, wants to die alone. I don't know, but I'm very fascinated with her storyline. So Morgan tries to reach Grace. Grace doesn't answer him at first, even though she can hear him.
Right.
And she crosses over the radiation line, we find out, to go back to the power plant. And then she walkies them, saying that she needs the generator that they have because the coolant system is failing at the plant, which is going to cause another meltdown.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know anything about Chernobyl, a nuclear meltdown is not
no
a good thing. It can affect miles from where it actually is. So this pocket, I'm going to say, of radiation-less zone is probably going to be consumed by radiation once this other plant melts down.
Right.
So time is of the essence here. Like, we've got to get out before this actually happens. And Grace enlists Morgan to help her out. Now, did you think that there was a potential love story here?
No.
No?
Not whatsoever. You got that? I didn't
Yeah.
even get that until you just mentioned that.
I got it when you know, she gives him back his stick and it's wrapped in plastic, and he's like, you know, I put so much emphasis on this stick, and now I realize that it's just a stick wrapped in plastic. And you know, he really, really, really wants to help her, and he's trying to convince her that she can be saved. He's trying to convince her to let him help her. And she just is like, no, you can't, you know, and she says, you're trying to earn your mistakes. And that's exactly what she's doing. And I loved that line because I feel like that's what got through to him. Because if anything else, that's exactly what Morgan is doing. After everything that he's done, after everybody that he's killed, he's gone through these levels of, peace, and then, you know, anger and all of these other things that all of our characters go through. And to see Grace kind of reason with him after not having many interactions with him and kind of pinpointing, hey, this is what you're trying to do, I'm trying to do the exact same thing. I liked it, and I really got this whole affection for each other in that moment.
I did like their dynamic together. I didn't get that relationship vibe. What I got was, you know, this is another person that Morgan is trying to desperately help.
Yeah.
You know, he's been trying to do that ever since, you know, he came on to Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So if anything, I got a really strong friendship, but not a love interest.
Okay, that's fair. Let us know what you guys think. I want to know if anybody else thinks I'm going to maybe a love interest, because Morgan hasn't really had that.
He really hasn't, yeah. That would be pretty cool to see, actually. Yeah, I've never actually thought about Morgan having a love interest, but now that you bring it up, that would be pretty cool.
And I like Grace.
Yeah.
I think that would be just like, it would just be so tragic. And I wouldn't put it past Morgan to take on that kind of responsibility by, you know, falling in love with a woman who's essentially dying.
We need to ship them. What would their names be? Maurice?
Maybe.
Maurice?
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea what their names are. I don't like that, though. I can tell you that. So I want to get into the Annie and Alicia storyline very quickly, because the radiation just ties right into what happened with Annie and her parents. But before we get to that, we see, you know, Annie washes up, and she looks completely different.
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
Did you know that was her when you first saw her?
Yes, I did.
For a split second, I was like, wait, who is this? And I'm like, oh, wait, it's the same person.
Because she was so
She looked
dirty.
completely different. completely different.
I give it to you. I mean, she did look like a completely different person, but I realized that she had washed up, and then when she came out, I was like, oh, she's actually clean. Look at that. And her own brother didn't even recognize her,
right?
Which was funny. But it doesn't change her attitude. She still has this, attitude of, we're going to help you fix the plane, and then you guys can leave, and we can stay. What they don't know is about this whole nuclear meltdown that's actually happening, that if they do stay, they will probably end up dying.
Yeah.
So they're trying to fix their plane that they found, and the test fails, the engines work, but the propellers do not. And Annie and Alicia have this moment where, Alicia tells her, why can't you stay here? Alicia's just like with a dog with a bone. She's like, why do you feel so responsible for your brothers, and why do you want to go? And, we see this moment where Annie's like packing up all her stuff, and that's when we find out what actually happened with her.
Right.
And we get this whole backstory about, her parents and how they died, how the radiation zombies attacked them at the cabin, which we already saw. And, the adults sent the kids away once the walls were about to give out. What did you think about the entire story in general, and did it warm you up to Annie as a character?
I'm glad that was finally revealed, what happened, and it definitely did warm me up to Annie, and I finally understood, why Alicia was getting paired up with Annie, because they kind of have the similar storylines.
Yeah.
They both lost their parents in terrible ways. And so I think this is a moment where Alicia sees where she can help Annie in a way.
I wish that we got to know Annie's parents group before they all passed away, because they seemed like a pretty badass group. I mean, to survive as long as Alicia's group has, I mean, you have to have some survival capabilities, which they obviously did.
Right.
And to be taken out by walkers that you didn't even know could kill you if you killed them,
right,
it kind of sucks. Like, I just keep thinking about that. Like, could you imagine like surviving all of this and then being killed by what? Radiation?
Right.
Really?
And it sucks, but I like what the writers did because it makes it very realistic.
Yes.
It's just not all, oh, we're gonna kill this zombie and we're all good.
Yeah.
So,
but it also comes down to the fact that, once human civilization ends, we do have all of these, human maintained facilities that will obviously fail. And when they do, there will be consequences. So for the fact that the writers of Fear are talking about this and having this conversation, it's just another dimension to the show in general.
Right.
And I just give them props. I mean, I would not, going into this season, I didn't think that we were going to be touching on radiation. I mean, that's so cool.
And then also, I just really like how we're seeing the dynamic of how kids are fighting to survive without their parents, and how they have to grow up even faster because they don't have those adults in their lives anymore, and so they have to fend for themselves. They can't get everything from mom and dad anymore. They have to get everything for themselves.
Well, I think that's just the overall, no matter how old you are in this zombie apocalypse, you're going to have to grow up really fast and learn really fast. Otherwise, you're just going to become a walker. What I loved about the Annie and Alicia moment was that Alicia says that she gets it. After Annie goes through this whole story, and she tells her, she tells her about what Madison had said to her, and the last thing that, her mom said to her. And she tells her, just make sure you're doing what they really asked. And Annie doesn't understand that at first. She questions, like, what do you mean by that? And Alicia says, are you surrounding yourself with the dead to protect your brothers? Or is it easier than surrounding yourself with the living? Same thing that happened with Morgan, because he did the same thing. Same thing that happened with Michonne when we first met her.
True.
In Walking Dead. So many characters have done this throughout the Walking Dead universe, where, it's just so hard losing people, and they get so tired of it that they just want to be alone. And that dealing with the dead is easier than getting attached to somebody who is living and then losing them.
Right.
What did you think of that moment?
I loved that moment because it spoke so true to form, and I completely agree with what Alicia had to say. And I do feel that Annie is surrounding herself with zombies because she lost all these people so close to her. And here's this other group where she sees that they're good people, and she knows if she gets close to them, there's a chance that they're gonna die from the walkers. So, and she doesn't want to take that risk anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her because she's gone through so much.
Yeah, no, I don't blame her at all. But I love that Alicia called her out on it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it does take an outsider's point of view and a question like that to really put in perspective what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a deal, like if they talk about it, if she really wants to leave, Alicia will give her a car, and she does.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Alicia stayed true to her word, but obviously that came back to bite her.
Yeah. As a little irresponsible.
I'm like, ugh. I mean, would you have given her the key? I mean, if you're gonna make a deal, I guess you have to.
No,
I guess
wouldn't
Alicia
have given her the key.
Really?
No.
I guess Alicia just
Deals
felt
can be broken.
True.
She'll get over it.
I think she just felt so confident in the fact that no, she's actually not gonna leave after we had this discussion. So here's the keys. She's like, I don't think Alicia actually thought that they would leave.
Right. True.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't have done that. I think that was very, very careless.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
I mean, yeah, what can you do? She would have. Here's my thing. I guess she would have found a way to leave one way or the other, whether she had those car keys or not.
True.
So I guess maybe if she didn't have the car, it'd have been more dangerous for her to leave her in the group. So in retrospect, I guess Alicia was really just looking out for her, like, hey, if you have to leave, here's a vehicle to do it in. But I hope you don't.
Maybe it was just her showing her, hey, you can trust me.
Yeah.
But don't leave, really.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to our last topic, everybody, people in the chat are noticing that Morgan took off his wedding ring, which I guess subconsciously I noticed, but which was just another reason why I was like, oh, maybe there's a storyline. Maybe Morgan is ready to move on, because that's what that symbolizes to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to take off your wedding ring, then maybe emotionally you are ready to move on.
Right. Yeah, I think he's physically ready to move on. I don't think he'll ever forget his wife. That will always be someone that he will remember and cherish forever. But I think he knows realistically for his sanity, he needs to move on and close that chapter.
Yeah.
And just remember the good times he had with her and his son.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, everybody in that chat, for mentioning that. Thank you, Ryan, our wonderful engineer, for catching that. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody on the live chat tonight because it is just the two of us. You guys are trying to get keep the conversation going. But you guys continue your own conversation in the live chat. We will read it afterwards, we promise.
Yes, we will.
I want to go into the fourth topic of Sarah, Charlie, and Strand. So we saw them last time where, they're essentially just trying to get to their friends over this mountain. That's essentially what they're trying to do. And Sarah is working on fixing their plane that they have. And props to the women in this episode, by the way, because we see Al on the other side fixing their plane. Yeah. And then we see Sarah fixing their plane. I'm like, okay, kudos to the women.
They've been doing a lot with that. And that's really good. I love that.
Good for them. I mean, it's sad that we even have to bring that up, but like, kudos to the writers for being like, you know what, we're going to make the women fix the plane. And they're not just relying on the men, which I love. But to be fair, we wouldn't have to fix the plane if Strand didn't break it in the first place. Just saying.
True.
Just saying.
Very true.
And so they're pretty much gathered around. They're just frustrated, as we all are, about how they can't help their friends. And we get to another level of this where they pretty much feel guilty that they weren't on the plane with their friends. And Sarah makes a great point. She's saying that they have propellers and no engine. Meanwhile, we have propellers and we have. Wait, what was it? Sorry. They have propellers and no engine. Meanwhile, the other group have engines and no propellers. So they have to get their propellers to the group with the engines. But how are they supposed to do that? And Charlie, being the smart little thing that she is, points out Augie's Brewery and. They alluded in the captions about an old friend, helping them. I didn't think that it was actually going to be Augie from the afterlife helping them out. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. So she notices that Sarah said that she took everything, her and Wendell took everything from Augie's Brewery. And Charlie notices that there's something in one of his posters that has a hot air balloon on it. And if you took everything, you would have a hot air balloon. Did you notice that when she was showing the photo?
No, and so I was studying that photo like no other. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, I was like, what is it? I was like, because never in a million years that I would think.
I would have never thought it was a hot air balloon.
Right, like who would? I was like, okay, a hot air balloon.
That was cool though. I actually really liked that.
It was cool until it crashed.
Yeah.
Like, who didn't think to put enough fuel in it? And here's my thing. Alicia's group, and this is the only reason I bring this up, Alicia's group had all of these trucks that they found to bring all of these plane parts into where they are, into their camp. And that obviously requires fuel on the pickup truck, fuel on the other truck, fuel on they have like 4 trucks. You mean, and they're in this small little area surrounded by radiation. They have all this fuel. You mean to tell me that Sarah, Wendell, and Charlie didn't think to go and get fuel for this hot air balloon and gas it up before they went and took it on a flight?
But if it was that easy, it wouldn't be a good episode.
You're right.
You know?
It just made me mad. That's all I'm saying. So the hot air balloon winds up crashing. At the same moment, we find out that the kids have left.
Right.
So Alicia wants to go after the kids. And I just need to ask you this. Are we over the kids? Are we over Alicia trying to persuade them to go with them?
Yes and no. I want the kid, because let's be realistic here. All these kids are not going to survive. They're not going to be with this group forever.
Well, if they stay, they're definitely not going to survive.
Yeah. And so I'm in between with it. You know, I want her to accomplish her goal.
Yes.
Of helping the kids, but at the same time, it's starting to become like a broken record.
It's also starting to become a detriment to her health, because now we see this road of walkers that she has to get through in order to go get these kids. And I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, you're just putting yourself in danger to help this group, and you can't do that. Like, you can't help anybody if you're dead. I think she's thinking about what her mom would do. Yeah.
I feel like her mom was always trying to help people. And so I think Alicia is trying to live up to her mom.
No, and I agree with you. And I know that I'm giving Alicia a lot of crap about it, and because I do love her character, and I love how focused and determined she is. And I do have faith that she will get to these kids and change their minds. But at the same time, if I was in her shoes in that moment, like, you've asked these kids several times, you've shown these kids several times what you can do, and that you're good people, and that you're there to help them, and they still don't want your help. Sometimes you just gotta let bygones be bygones and let them do whatever they need to do.
But at the same time, if these are adults and they kept on saying, you know what, I'm not doing it, I would have let them go a long time ago. But these are kids. They have a different process of thinking. They kind of don't know any better, even though they had to grow up really fast. So I kind of understand where she's coming from now after thinking about that.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, and I feel like I'm just taking it out on the kids for putting Alicia in danger. I'm mad. So we see Alicia going after the kids, and then we also see that Morgan is going into the radiation zone to kind of rescue Strand and Charlie and get the propellers after their hot air balloon has crashed. And the last image that we see are the walkers coming toward the balloon. What do you think that Morgan's going to get to them in time?
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
I know Morgan's going to survive.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to kill Morgan off. But I do think he's going to get to them in time, but something else is going to go wrong.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to go wrong, but something else is going to go wrong.
I agree with you. Any last thoughts on the episode before we move to our special segments?
It was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
I liked it.
I liked it as well. I mean, like I said, every episode is a step in the right direction. We're finding out more and more about these characters. We're finding more about how they're going to escape. I need them to escape soon because I'm over this location in the radiation zone. I need them to wrap this up.
Leading up to the winter finale.
Yeah, well, the mid-season finale. Yeah. The summer finale.
It's summer. The summer finale.
The summer finale. Mid-finale. So we've got only 2 more episodes left till the mid-season finale.
Right.
And I'm hoping they get out of this radiation zone.
Yeah.
Before then or before we go on break. Let's move into some special segments, you guys. We've got our favorite kill segment coming up. Thank you, Ryan, our wonderful engineer, for that soundbite. I want to know your favorite kill of the episode. There weren't that many.
There weren't.
So I want to know if you can fish some out.
This is a hard one, actually. I guess I would have to go with I really don't know. I
I'll
don't
tell
have
you
one.
mine. So I think it was the walker that Alicia was going to kill after the plane test failed.
Okay.
And Morgan came in and stabbed him with the mop that he fixed.
Yeah,
and Alicia
that's
says,
right.
"Oh, you fixed the mop."
You fixed the mop.
Meanwhile, but I just thought it was really funny because
Right.
they have this very like jokey sense of humor. Sometimes it only comes out once in a while, and that's why I like that moment because it was like, "Oh, you fixed the mop," but meanwhile,
Right.
you really broke the mop to make what you wanted.
Right,
So
right.
I mean, I just love that kill because it showed their playfulness. But like I said, there really weren't that many kills this episode.
Yeah, you know what?
so-
I'm going to go with that one.
Okay, you
Because
can
I
steal
can't
mine.
think of another one.
That's fine. That's
that was
fine.
a very good one.
Let us know your guys' favorite kill. Let's move on to how not to survive a zombie apocalypse, one of our special segments.
Yes,
Because we
it's my
always love
favorite
talking.
one.
I know, mine too. I always love talking about this. What would be your moment this episode?
I would say when grown adults are telling you to do something that will save your life,
Yes.
do it.
Do it.
Because it will probably save your life.
The more you know.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. Also, make sure if you're going to take a mode of transportation, especially if it's in the air, make sure it's properly fueled.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to crash into the woods
With a bunch of walkers
in a radiation zone.
who want to eat you.
Exactly. So maybe not the smartest idea, but the intentions were there.
Yeah.
The intentions were
Yeah.
it was well intended. They just didn't think it out properly.
Right. Really didn't.
Yes. So those are our how not to survive a zombie apocalypse moment. Let us know yours. We always love reading those because they're always a lot of fun. Picking fun at the episode a little bit. Let's get into some news and gossip, shall we?
Let's do it.
Benny, I'm going to shoot it over to you.
All
always
right.
take care of our news and gossip.
Comic-Con. It is coming up, man.
It is.
Have you ever been to Comic-Con
I
before?
have not.
I have never been. I've always wanted to go.
I'm sure some of our viewers have, though.
Oh, yeah. But if you are going, then you're definitely going to want to hear this. You guys probably already know, but many of the cast members from The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead are going to be there. So if you're going to be at Comic-Con, I have where they're going to be. Fear the Walking Dead will be starting at 12 p.m. in Hall H.
Oh.
I've never been there, so I don't know what Hall H is. But if you've been there, then you probably know where Hall H is. And The Walking Dead will follow right after at 1 p.m. in the same area, Hall H. Comic-Con starts Thursday, July 18th. And Sunday, July 21st. Once again, I am very bummed that I am not going because I have always wanted to go. I see videos and pictures like after it's all over of everyone having so much fun. Right now, we don't know what The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, what they're going to show, what they're going to reveal. I hope they reveal more about the movies. Yeah. But we'll see.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll reveal a whole lot more than that. If anybody who has connections to Comic-Con is watching right now, try to get us as a panel in there. We'd greatly appreciate it.
We'll
be
be very happy.
We'd be very eternally grateful not to use our connections at all. I'm also excited for them to talk about the comics because those of you who do read the comics, no spoilers, or spoiler alert, the last issue came out this month or last month.
It was like last week.
Yeah, okay, so it was this month.
It was, yeah.
Which a lot of fans are not bummed by. A lot of people are in disbelief about it. Some people are saying that it's not really the last issue, that they're going to come out with more.
Some people are saying, this is the end of The Walking Dead, but I don't think it's the end of the series. I don't think it's the end of the series whatsoever.
I don't think so at all, because, look at Fear the Walking Dead and as a show in general. They haven't stuck to the comics at all.
Right, and they're creating a new series. Yeah,
so I don't think the Walking Dead universe is going anywhere anytime soon. Plus, it's AMC's number one rated show,
right,
or number one watched.
They're not
show.
letting that go.
No, of course not. And I'm not mad at it. I want to see what other things that they explore with it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot probably happening at Comic-Con, guys. So if you're going, we are going to be definitely experiencing some FOMO. And like I said, if you have any connections, hint, get us in there.
Take pictures. Send them to us. Maybe we'll show them on air.
That's a great idea. If you guys dress up as some Comic-Con characters from The Walking Dead, send them to us. We would love to see you guys dressed up. Let's get into some predictions, shall we?
Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions.
I know we hinted at some predictions throughout the episode while we were discussing it, but any ones that we didn't allude to that are pretty in your mind? Stand
I
out?
think it's going to be a bloodbath.
Ooh, with who?
Coming up. I think some of the kids aren't going to survive.
Yeah.
I think we're going to lose some main characters. I think the people who are going to be safe for sure are Alicia and Morgan, but you never know. Yeah.
You never know.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, do you think that we're going to lose some major characters before the mid-season finale?
No, I don't think we're going to lose
okay.
characters before the mid-season finale. I think the mid-season finale is going to be that game changer.
Well, because you know how The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead like to mess us up with this, because we always like go for this, it's the mid-season finale episode, it's going to be crazy,
True.
but then they hit us with the episode beforehand,
that's
and then
very
we see the
true.
aftermath.
That's a good point.
So, I don't know, the next episode could be crazy, because there's only, like I said, 2 episodes left.
What do you think about Lucy?
I still think that she's not, because it's this Little Prince book, and we alluded to it in the beginning of this episode, but I feel like it's a very, very bad luck, and I really need to find out more about the storyline, or the story in general, the actual Little Prince story, because I feel like that when we said it before, the kids are going to be Lucy's downfall, but now I'm thinking that it might be Alicia's downfall. She's not dying, she's not going anywhere, but I feel like she's going to be putting herself into these really bad situations because of these kids.
See, the only thing with Lucy now, I feel at first I thought that she was for sure going to be a goner, but now she's not really getting that much screen time.
Yes.
They don't really kill off people who aren't getting that much screen time.
I agree with you, because they want us to build up how we feel about them and our emotions with them, so that when they leave or when they get killed off, we're like, oh no.
Right. So I think we're going to see more.
See, I don't know. They keep playing this whole relationship with Lucy and Dylan, if you've noticed.
Yeah.
With the Little Prince book, and that's why I brought it up. So I'm thinking that Lucy might just sacrifice herself for Dylan.
I could see that.
I could see it too.
I would be very bummed, because I would have loved for her to have like this huge storyline, because she really didn't have a big storyline this season.
Very quickly, I also predict that Al is going to confide in June about what happened to her while she was gone with Isabel, because they had this really nice moment in this episode where she said, you let me speak off the record. It was a really great moment between Al and June, and they don't have many moments together.
Right.
So I always love when they do get together. So I'm hoping that Al confides in her, because I think she definitely needs that outlet.
Right.
She
I agree with you.
That back.
I agree. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. And that'll only solidify their relationship.
Secrets always come out.
Secrets always come out, you guys. That is our review of Season 5, Episode 6, The Little Prince, here on Fear the Walking Dead After Show. Benny, where can our fans find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
And you can find me on all social media at I am Timothy Mike. Like I said, everybody, 2 episodes left to the mid-season finale.
2 more.
We will be back hopefully next Monday with a full panel to discuss the next episode. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Our
guys.
founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners.